Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. Welcome to Witty Apparatus, where we treat it like that barbershop, but you ain't got to wait in line to get this scoop. Now, let's talk about this disaster that was the Fyre Festival. So for those of you who don't know, the Fyre Festival was an event that was supposed to take place at the Fyre Island in the Bahamas. Now, this was supposed to be a luxurious event that gave those folks with enough money somewhere different to go besides the usual spots like Coachella. Now, the Fyre Festival, as it's called, was a complete disaster. One of the main contributors to the Fyre Festival being brought on and the booking of the acts and the organization was rapper Ja Rule. Now, there were other partners who played a bigger role, so it's not all Ja Rule's fault. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a news clip of one festival goer's experience while she was there on the ground, and you'll see a little bit of what took place, and then come back and I'll give you my commentary. All right?
Not go quite as planned, leaving many of the guests who flew there, paid thousands of dollars in some cases, stranded with no food, no water, no shelter, and no way home. So we've got someone who actually went to the concert, witnessed what happened firsthand, and she's joining us live now from Miami, where she's made it out from that Bahamas location. Hallie Wilson, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Amna.
So first question is just how are you?
Well, now that we're back in Miami, we're good. And we actually, it's been the longest 24 hours of our lives, actually. So we flew out of Miami yesterday, saw what happened, which we'll get into. And it was about a, 15-hour travel to get back on a 40-hour flight, which is not that far, but we're good. We're here. We have a hotel. We're good.
Good. You've got a bed. You've got clean water. You've got all the important things. But let's figure out what happened here. Tell me about why you decided to attend in the first place. And we're hearing these like multiple $1,000 tickets. What did you pay for? What were you expecting?
Well, we had a group of 8 of us. We're celebrating a bachelor party for a good friend. We paid $4,000 for 8 of us, so it was $500 each. We booked the tickets like a long time ago when they had kind of first announced it. And then they had like a huge marketing budget, I guess, and they just kind of continued to promote it. And everything that they were advertising and saying was making it seem like extremely luxurious or luxe or very like exquisite and cultural and clean. And I don't know. I mean, you even like see the previews and like it's just boats and clean water and like sand and like beautiful people and
Hallie, we're actually seeing some of that promo video. We know they were all over social media promoting this. There were some huge Instagram models and celebrities who were involved in the campaign. Ja Rule, the rapper, was one of the organizers, right? And they had big names lined up. They had like Blink-182 and Major Lazer. So all of that, did you ever doubt that what you were being promised wasn't going to be there?
Honestly, no. Like even when we got on our charter flight, they had like Fyre Festival on the side of the plane, which makes you wonder where they spent their money. But when we were on the plane going to Exuma, we heard that Blink-182, who was the headliner that night, had pulled out and they just weren't coming. So that kind of was like a little bit of a red flag, but we really didn't start to kind of think like, wait, what's happening until we got off the plane in the Bahamas, went through customs, and we all got on like school buses and little buses, and they drove us around for a while. And then we end up coming into this, like, it almost was like a quarry. It wasn't beachy at all. It was like, there were high fences, and there were just like little white dome tents, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them set up like in a neat little row. It was actually a pretty scary thing. And we were like, wait, that's our housing. And most of them were barren, like completely bare. Some of them had the mattresses set up. So they had in each of we were told we were getting a lodge, which it wasn't. It was like a big white dome, and there were 2 beds with sheets and a wooden bookcase in them. That's all. Some of them had towels, but mostly not.
Okay, there you have it, man. Straight out of the horse's mouth. And I kind of believe her, man. You saw, man, she seemed positive, even though she had just been through, I guess, a traumatic event for her. Like most people, that it's kind of disrespectful to people from a third world country to call that a traumatic event because, living in a tent city is bad and stuff like that, but people are refugees and have to deal with that stuff every day. So I'm not going to make light of that. But thinking about the fact that, people with enough money to go to a nice vacation had to live in a tent city, that is horrible, man. They were tripping. Ja Rule and this Billy McFarland guy, because Ja Rule has been getting a lot of the blame because he's the most recognizable name. But one of the head guy for this is a guy by the name of Billy McFarland. And he just did an article with Rolling Stone talking about we were a little naive and that we were overwhelmed and they just didn't have the oversight to solve all the problems. That's something, you have a team that's supposed to figure these things out beforehand. And then he said next year they'll definitely start earlier. Are you serious, bro? You really think people are going to pay their hard-earned money to go and do that next year? Nah, man. I think him and Ja Rule might have put a lot of damage on their reputation as far as throwing events and concert going. And when it comes to promoting, and something I know a little bit about, your reputation for paying artists and your reputation for throwing good events is what you live and die by. So if you just threw the worst event in somebody's life, they had a traumatic situation where they were stuck at a tent, they had to get a plane back and couldn't fly back, they were stuck there eating disgusting food, and that's the number one. That food, man, y'all dead wrong for that, man. 2 pieces of bread and some cheese. Come on, man. People in jail eat better than that, man. Let's be real. Let's be real, man. People are not gonna put up with that, and people are definitely not gonna give you their money again back to back. Now, let me stop, man. Next year around this time, we might be reading that people are out there. Watch. I mean, but like I said in my last video, an event of that magnitude is, man, you gotta have them buku bucks, man. So he was right about something when he said they were a little naive, because I mean, it would have to be like Richard Branson or maybe somebody like Bill Gates through the event. I mean, Warren Buffett, like somebody who could really, I mean, give somebody who's coming from, if they live in Miami or they live somewhere on the East Coast and they're from an affluent family, give them that same type of experience. I mean, because that's basically what they're paying you for, in an environment that's not close to home. That's in the Caribbean. That's very festive and, vacationing. But I guess they missed the mark, and I don't want to beat these dudes up because I know they are really getting it on social media right now, man. The Fyre Festival is still trending, man. Everybody talking about the Fyre Festival like, man, this is the worst thing in the world. They did me wrong. Yeah, I mean, there's so many stories out there. But with that, I'd just like to say, hey, man, I won't be going because, number one, I'm not rich. I can't afford nothing like that. And number two, judging from this, I look at cruises sideways. I'd really have to look at any type of international concert thing like that sideways from here on out. All right, now with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Hit that like button if you like this video. Hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And yeah, let me do this, man, because I didn't do this in the last video. I think people got the wrong idea. Yeah, I did. Hold up. I did say this, man. At the end of the last video, I did say, man, I feel bad for everybody who went out there, and I'm not trying to make light of their being in a bad situation. Now, with that, please hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and we out of here. Peace.